Hi and welcome to a new episode of Dynamics Update. This time we're not doing the regular thing, we are doing an interview, and this time we have with us Aurélien Clere, who is the writer of a new book. And of course, as usual, I also have Gustav Sundblad, my colleague. Hello everyone.
Hello Johan, hello Aurélien. Welcome to the podcast.
Yeah, thank you.
So you're here because you have actually written a book on dynamics.
So yeah, we just after 2 years of work, we just released a new book called Dynamics 365 Machine Learning: How to Apply Predictive Analytics for Dynamics World and Power Platform, all the business application of Microsoft. So yeah.
So I think it's actually a good thing that it took 2 years, because I mean right now Microsoft is catching up with you to actually start using predictions and AI in the product. So I think you're perfectly timed.
Yes, exactly.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So I mean it's a very interesting topic, though, machine learning, AI, etc. What is the reason for you guys writing the book? Lack of content generally before, or is it have you worked with machine learning before going into 365?
So yeah, it was a long road, as you mentioned. So globally, yes, the aim of this book was putting two normally separate worlds, because as you know, we have a lot of books on machine learning, but specifically on machine learning, we have also books on Dynamics or Power Platform. But the goal was really to bring the two worlds together. Like now, Microsoft do the same thing as CRM and ERP, which was, completely separate before. Now we have Dynamics 365 and finance operation can communicate with the CRM, etc. So yeah, the goal was really to, for me, machine learning doesn't work well if you don't have the data behind, and that was exactly the goal, and the aim was really because in the past, I used to work with a startup, which was exactly working on the same thing as customer insight as of now, but it was in 2015 in France, and the goal was working with a sports team in France, like football, basketball, over key area, and on stadium solution, working with Azure Data Lake, Azure Machine Learning, and Dynamics CRM, because back then it was Dynamics CRM and Power BI. Like the customer success story of Real Madrid was exactly the same thing: how to achieve a better fan user experience with sports in general. Yeah. And so that was exactly the goal. Yeah. So
Cool. I mean, for me personally, I really love this subject because it's really, first of all, it's really cool, but it's always been coming from ERP, specifically very like tangible stuff. It's always been a little, okay, how do you actually apply it? Because like you say, it's a good thing we're getting two worlds, or one very well described area, which is machine learning, and one very well described area as well, which is ERP. Whenever you kind of Google machine learning or AI, you kind of end up in the path, okay, I have to learn Python, or I have to learn very, very, very advanced mathematics. But in the end, I like the AI builder, and I know your book is a lot about the components of Dynamics 365, Dataverse, etc. And I think specifically what caught my attention was the practical examples. I mean, because it's all about that Microsoft's take here, you'll have to correct me if I'm wrong, is kind of how to bridge that gap and do practical examples of how to apply it in a business scenario. So do you have any such, can you give us kind of some tidbits from the book, some real practical examples that you guys walk us through?
Exactly. So as you have maybe seen also, that Microsoft is really pushing like Dynamics finance insight, supply chain insight, customer service insight. Or I will not do all the platform, but now, of course, as you have seen, maybe also Microsoft is pushing AI in standard. But now, maybe you have also seen, like in the ERP, even on the Dataverse side, we can really export in real time data into a data lake. So that was without performance issue, etc. So what it was exactly the main part. You can't do machine learning if you can't export your data very quickly in real time without sync issue. And after, they push a lot also on Azure Synapse Analytics, which is a modern data warehouse, which is also very important before starting using any kind of machine learning model or any kind of featureization, choosing the right algorithm, cleaning your data, because on machine learning, you have a lot of things to do to prepare your model. And that was exactly important for me, because on other customers, the business case behind ERP was really, okay, let's go to data lake, let's go to Synapse, and let's go to Power BI reports, and that's it. I will analyze only past data, and not even in Power BI now. We have some AI component directly in the Power BI to do some forecast, to do like a business case I use with a customer is a customer payment prediction with Finance Insight, with AI Builder to predict when my customer will pay, and if he has some delays, what will be the delay to pay my invoice. So that's very important for a global risk officer to know, okay, this customer, I will hold it because I know it's a bad customer. he often pays very lately. And you can really automate also with Automate now, of course, at the end of the loop, because you predict something on the customer, on the transaction in the ERP, and you want to do some automatization after. So you can really like doing some credit collection on ERP with Finance Insight result based on that, like sending automatically a credit collection. And of course, when you are 100%, not 100, because machine learning will not be 100% sure, of course, but you can really on maybe 75% of all customers send automatically credit collection without any actions. And what else I can bring to the audience about business case? I would maybe the machine learning forecast prediction, cash flow forecast. Cash flow forecast is a real great feature that you can do with that. And at the end, very important for me, even in the book, we have spoken about how to build on your own model, which is, I know it is, you will have to learn Pythons, you will need to learn some key feature, but this is something we put in the book even if you are a Dynamics developer or technical guy, you will know how to create your own model. But also now we have another thing which is very important for me is Azure Automated Machine Learning, Automated ML, which will help you very, very, very fast to do all the stuff of machine learning that we have done in the past manually. Especially for me, the very difficult part is I have a business case question to answer, sorry. What will be the best algorithm to answer this question? And for that, without Azure Automated Machine Learning, you will have to try to find the right algorithm for you. And now, Azure Machine Learning will have behind the scene as also an AI stuff in the machine learning for you to help you to choose the right algorithm and to try it every kind of algorithm and say, okay, for your question, for your data set, this is the right algorithm. So yeah.
Very cool. Yeah, I know. Sorry, can I just one quick thing? Regarding that specific topic, choosing the correct algorithm, I had one question on that, but you already answered it, because back in the day in AI means like 2 weeks ago, but a year ago at least, I was dabbling a little bit and had to revert to the algorithm cheat sheet, the Azure Machine Learning, the one where you really need to kind of what algorithm do I use? Do I use a fast training linear model, multi-class classification, etc.? So what you're saying is that step is easier now, because you don't necessarily need to understand all of these models. You need to understand your data and what question you want to get answered, right? Is that correct?
Exactly. But the main topic before that will be Of course, doing some cleaning, doing some view, and mostly very important because it's very technical, what we said right
Of
now.
course.
But
Yes.
as you mentioned, the main part is what I want to do. Because it's like a geek thing. It's marketing stuff also for Microsoft because it's really great to bring some intelligence on data. And the main point for all customer right now of Dynamics will be, okay, I have this good data, I have this kind of data, I have this kind of data. Okay, what can I do with that? What is my main point? What is my main feature that will help my business with the answer I want to predict, in fact. So
Yeah.
and with the business case I mentioned before about stadium solution, the main goal was something like show versus no show, because on stadium, especially during COVID, you pay a ticket to see an event, a match in sports, and sometimes you will not go there. And that was a very important question to see the historical data. Okay, this fan of this football team, he will not go to this particular match, and you want to predict that because based on that you will not do the same marketing campaign with this customer, because like Satya Nadella, as he has saying that, but it was 3 years ago, I think. It was for marketing to send the right message to the right person at the right time, and not spending a lot of money to send basic newsletter every month, like 1 million of emails which nobody read, and or going in the spam folder of your email address. And also it was to know what is the percentage of chance that you will buy a new ticket for the next match, and based on that you will not send the same message as a guy that we know that he will, for sure we know he will pay for this match, so we will not address any kind of message, or even not a promotion to if you send a promotion to a guy that at 20% maybe he will buy something, so you will not send the same message, and personalized.
That's a very good example. I'll send a copy of your book to my favorite football team's marketing department. I think they need that because I always get these kind of non-personalized messages. Please, hello Gustav, hello, and I know no one typed hello Gustav to me. It's really automated.
Yeah,
that's a good thing.
I think that one of the important parts here is that, because I mean I've been following AI and machine learning for a long time, and when Microsoft released the AI Builder tool, my first reaction was, wow, it's finally available for regular people. Regular people can actually build this and understand this and use this, because before it used to be like something that you did if you had a PhD in data science. That was required. But what I think is actually that the problem is that even AI Builder, even though it's really, really, really much simpler than it used to be, it's still way too complicated for the regular business person, for the regular CFO, for like the business application specialists to understand exactly what it does and what it's for. And that's why I think that doing what Microsoft is doing right now with the finance insights, it's actually a perfect thing, because now we don't have to decide what to use it for. We just click it and use it. It's already a pre-built model. It just uses our data to realize what we've been trying to do for a long time. But we don't have to understand why we should use this. Microsoft has already made the decision that, okay, so here is a niche where machine learning probably will do a good job without anyone understanding what it actually does. It does its magic, and then it works.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that's one of my other questions. It's not a real discussion topic here, because for me as well, AI Builder was really cool. I love Power Apps, and I know there's a lot of examples for Power Apps and Dataverse in your book, but that specific, like it will solve one specific case. Perhaps it's kind of okay, how do we automate the order entry capture here? We have a form that guys we use to fit in. AI Builder might be a perfect solution for that specific little niche flow, right? It's not really, it's a very specific solution, and you can just as easily solve it with just a new manual printed form. So again, I've run into a number of scenarios where like, okay, AI Builder is super cool, but it always like it works up to the demo stage, and then at least it has been very hard to kind of find this practical good killer app is what I'm after here. What is the killer app that's going to really drive AI and machine learning within the Dynamics 365 ERP ecosystem, at least? And finance is of course like forecasting, credit checks, all of that kind of data, where you have a number of third-party apps already today. So you might be able to scale down your third-party apps, or you might be able to follow this. But like you say, Johan, when it kind of comes pre-packaged already, that's when you can't say no to it, right? And then if you're already using it, you gain a better understanding of it. So I agree with your sentiment there that the built-in AI capabilities will be what is driving this forward, whereas AI Builder is more like maybe I work, as I said, more with ERP, so maybe as customer engagement and CRM flows might use it more, but I haven't found or haven't seen any real use scenarios yet. So it's really interesting to see practical examples, because you get more like, okay, we can do this with AI Builder. It's a very cool app right now, but needs more practical usage, I think.
Globally, yeah, I agree with you, because even AI Builder is quite new. I think it's like end of 2019. Even on some data center, is not yet available globally, and especially in France. And yeah, they just bring a lot of new capabilities, and in fact, behind the scene it's just using the Azure AI services, like Azure Cognitive Services to scan some images like OCR, which can be used in fact also with the expense management on finance operation. So yeah, AI Builder is just a wizard to bring to build or to bring your model very quickly. But for me, it's quite difficult, because sometimes it's completely a black box. You don't have I'm a technical guy, so that's why I prefer often to go with Azure, because I know I will have all needed I want. I can change everything I need. But yeah, I know that it will not. I think the AI Builder will not help everyone it will be very particular for one specific case, which can be good. And in fact, Finance Insight behind the scene also use in fact AI Builder to predict the customer payment prediction with using AI Builder.
But isn't that the problem with AI in general, and also with AI Builder? As you said, it's a black box. I mean, the problem is that per definition, you won't understand every detail on why it made the decision it made. It made it based on prior data, but you can't really go in detail say, so this parameter here in this field was what made this decision, but it's everything. So I think that's the problem in understanding exactly what to use it for, is that since you can't really control it, so you don't really know if it's doing what you think it's doing. You just get the result. It's like the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy 42. Okay, so what?
It's the answer to everything, yeah. No, but I mean, the difference there is, and that's not necessarily a bad thing, because just as interface design APIs, you don't really know what's happening behind the lines. You just expect something to be returned, and as long as it's returned and you trust it, it works, that's fine. And the key, like you said as well, and we discussed before, the key is understanding your data and what is the question you need answered with this. And also, I think as long as you do that, you can always measure the forecast, but maybe it's too late when the forecast doesn't fall in. So it all boils down to test, right? Testing and understanding. So I think AI Builder for me is really like super nice to demo stuff and to gain like an understanding where does this component fit in? Could it be like scanning order flow to automatically tag orders with an order pool based on the criticality or develop a lot of these like stuff that you can build with 40, 50 lines of code, but you're never always going to catch that scenario. That's where you kind of plug in this component, and the more you see the use, AI Builder is nice because you can put it in a nice little Power Automate, or you can put it in a very nice graph and say, okay, here is where we call Azure services and get like an automated response back. But then if you're gonna put it into a real business critical order of like flow, you're probably not going to use AI Builder for it. You're probably going to like gain an understanding and build something using Python and using algorithms and using Azure, because like you say, that's where you get the another level of scaling, as well as having development, testing, production services, DevOps. Basically, you can get that.
Yeah.
You don't get DevOps with AI Builder, not right now at least.
Exactly. That's main for me. Even as a whole, on the Power Platform side, on Dataverse, of course now on Power Platform, finally, we have something called ALM with the Center of Excellence kit. So we have a lot of things that Microsoft bring to help doing some basic things for me, because as a you, which we are working on finance operation, we know that it's important to deploy automatically the code every night, to try it automatically, to do all the DevOps thing. And of course, on AI Builder, it's not supported right now. So if you create, even now in AI Builder, you can create your own model, but you can't do machine learning ops, ML ops, like DevOps.
No,
and
exactly.
Of course, if you want to go there, you have to go to Azure completely. So that's something, that's why I'm technical, but I often go to Azure than AI Builder. But I agree with you. It's sometimes I start with AI Builder at first, like demonstration, but when I want to do a real production stuff for an enterprise, for a customer, I will go to Azure, which is better than to do the application lifecycle management, etc.
But can you make the Power Automate versus Logic Apps comparison there? Because Power Automate is also good for like smaller, maybe non-business critical and automation of like normal events.
Exactly.
Whereas when you really need to, you can kind of take that flow and move it into Logic Apps and really DevOpsify it, basically. Is that a good comparison, basically?
Yes, completely agree. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, because I think if you go to any kind of forum, or event or podcast like you, a lot of Power Platform. I'm not an expert on Power Platform because I'm more on finance operation, but I used to work sometimes on Power Platform, and when I see how to really deploy something on this platform, it's wow. It was for me, it's really a business citizen platform. So that's maybe what Microsoft doesn't spend a lot of time on this part, because it's not really for IT people, or it's quite complicated. Right now, we can finally go with DevOps or GitHub doing automation, deployment automation when Power Platform, but still, it's I think environment variables, or doing some change after deployment was just it was possible, or is still in preview, I think, maybe. So it's quite.
It's getting there. It's getting there. Yeah, exactly. All right. Very cool. I don't have any more questions. Really, I think it's a really cool subject, and like you said, I think a good summary was trying to bridge these two pretty well documented areas, and specifically ERP and Dynamics 365. I really like to see how it's starting to use all of these Azure servers. That's really where Microsoft has a good edge right now, using and connecting all of the business apps with the power of the Azure cloud. So it's really cool to see it getting easier as well for us, like non-mathematical, statistical superhumans. It's interesting to kind of gain an understanding as well on how it works. That's pretty cool.
Yes. Yeah. So I know that the book is available at Amazon.
Yeah.
And the title of the book is Machine Learning with Dynamics 365 and Power Platform. So if anyone
exactly.
has found the topic interesting, I think they can go there and find the book, right? And I know that it's also available as an ebook if you don't want the big paper brick sent to your home. So, all right. So thanks a lot, Aurélien. It's been really nice talking to you.
Been a pleasure.
Thank
you very much.
Thank you.
Bye bye.
Bye bye. See you.
See you.